Hey, good morning, guys. BATJAC J.W. here. You are tuned in to Saturday morning, and we're actually going to turn on the audio recorder right here because those of you that are subscribed to the second channel, JW's radio show channel, or the Patreon, you're seeing this early or you're listening to this early. So on goes the recorder. Hey, guys, you're tuned in. It's BATJAC J.W. It's Saturday morning time. Those of you that are just hearing this without seeing anything, you're listening to the audio version of this, which is available on my second channel. Or if you're actually seeing this early, that means you're subscribed or you're on my Patreon page. Or you're right here on Saturday morning on the main page. I am everywhere. BATJAC J.W. is all over the place. Well, anyway, main thing is you are here at this moment. Be it good morning, good afternoon, good night, who knows. That is good stuff. All right, so let's get some shout outs done. And these are shout outs to everybody that left comments, at least all the positive stuff. Don't think I should shout out anybody that dislikes the channel. I guess they haven't figured out they don't have to watch quite yet. They'll figure it out. Maybe some people help them along. Hey, you know, there's actually a button that has an X on it. You don't have to watch the videos. EB Saint, I have Joe P. Hey, Joe, how's it going? I actually got to get some stuff out. Arizona Ghost Riders, I carry one. Mr. Holster, muzzle first. Scott F, disposable 762. I believe he is still running his giveaway, his hair popping giveaway. So check out that. And go ahead and give him a subscribe. Disposable 762 is a really good guy. I always find his stuff funny, and he makes me laugh a lot. Bob Hartman, Mr. Mark Mac 85. And we got the Mad Murphy back in here. Bernard Flood, the gun enthusiast, which, where have you been, brother? The gun enthusiast has not been making too many videos lately. We want to get him back making videos. He's been a long-time subscriber of mine, and I've been a subscriber of his. Him and I both started our channels at the same time. Glad to see him back around. He just recently did a video with his dog. He's got some beautiful dogs. He documented his videos with his puppy growing all the way up to quite a dog now. Edward Petty, 454 Packer, and Darren Baggs, 6 gun. That's right. Long live the Duke. He's up in the background. He's always here. Long live the Duke. He's always with this. Okay, so some things we're going to talk about, some things we're going to do. By the way, I got a bag of goodies right here. Some stuff I scored during the week. It's from one of my favorite places that I love to go. I'm here all the time. I love it. It's where most of my money goes. Bookman's. Bookman's Exchange. Look at this. 100% recycled post-consumer content right here in the bag. I love Bookman's. Bookman's is an exchange place that does books, music, and movies, stuff like that. So I'm always in there. You never know what you can find. You can find some real gems. I found a lot of gems in this place. So it never ceases to amaze me to see what I can find. So we'll dig into that in a bit. So if you haven't seen it, I posted up a video. It's called There's Something Cool About This. And that is really pertaining to James Bond and the Walther PPK. I think there will always be that romance between the two, regardless if it's a 380 or 32. There's going to be a lot of those people that go, well, you know, technically, well, you know what? In the words of great Roddy Piper, he says, you don't throw rocks at a man with a machine gun. Roddy Piper is awesome. I love Roddy Piper. That's the time where I grew up. We're watching a lot of these guys. It was stuff like that. And that's all. It reminded me of every time I hear that, you know, somebody leaves that comment. Well, you know, technically, it reminds me, I think it was the Royal Rumble 1992. Roddy Piper was taking on the Mountie, and he was like, well, you know, technically, I don't care. Anyway, it's the cool factor of what it is. You know, a lot of times that's it. I mean, I buy a lot of things based on that. That it's I saw it in a movie, and a movie has just had such an impact on me growing up. I just had to have the real thing at some point because a lot of times I was just a kid. I mean, a lot of BB guns, a lot of cap guns. I was very fortunate. My parents did not deprive me of cap guns and dart guns and whatever, you know, things that shot stuff and things that made a lot of noise. Probably drove my grandpa and my grandparents nuts all through. But you know what? They kept buying them for me. So, you know, God rest their soul. Bless them in heaven. You know, they really provided me with a great childhood. I like to take this moment really to talk about my parents and my grandpa, my father, my mom. My mom has been, all through my life, my mom has supported me no matter what I've done through making, you know, playing rock and roll band, garage band, setting up and doing stuff, torturing them with guitars and drums and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it was, you know, I give my mom a lot of credit for that. My grandpa too. But you know, growing up, I was never deprived of cap guns or any of these type of things. You know, and they were in. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. It's not like I, you know, all the way back where somebody says, you know, well, back in the day kind of thing. But you know, I mean, I'm old enough to where, yeah, it's kind of weird, like the millennial thing that's going on and all that, and how it's so much changed. Where when I was growing up, you could literally go to the supermarket and buy something that probably would get you shot by a police officer if you were to run around the street pointing it at people. It was some pretty cool stuff that I remember buying and having when I was a kid. One of my fondest memories was I used to go with my grandpa. We used to go and take a trip down to the harbor or the pier. It was one of his favorite places. He used to have a boat. He was, you know, always on the ocean. He was a fisherman too, and that was one of his things. I guess when he got older, when he couldn't go. Now there's a lot of things that I wish I would have asked him and talked to him about, but I was just a youngin. Yeah, so there was one of these times where I think we were going down to the pier, I think it was the pier, and you know I remember, and every time we've gone out somewhere, you know, of course I had to buy something, you know, I had to spend, but of course Grandpa always bought me something. That's just what grandparents do. But I had gotten a little cap pistol. That was something I forget what store or whatever we were, but he bought me this little cap pistol, and I was in this, you know, hanging out with him at the harbor. It was at night, and we were just listening to the ocean, and I always always thought I would see a shark. I'm scared to death of sharks, by the way, guys. It comes from the island boy, you know. But that was just something I just remember that night, just hanging out with him on the harbor at a pier at night, listening to the ocean. I had my little cap pistol, so I thought it was safe to protect myself with a little cap pistol. But all in all, it was just memories like that that really make me grateful, 110% grateful for the way that my parents, my grandpa, my grandparents raised me. I'm so grateful, and I feel like I'm part of that generation, that last generation that could have experienced really cool stuff before it all just went to just kind of, I don't know, it's just not like the way I grew up. I look at the way the people are growing up now. You know, when I was just growing up, just a kid, I mean, I went down the street, rode bikes with the neighborhood kids, went to the forest, dug holes, played with mud, got sticks out of the forest, and played army. We got to, you know, we would go to the big lots before the houses got built. Now, I mean, I go back to my old neighborhood in Hawaii, and it's just like a bunch of houses everywhere. I remember when there wasn't. We'd go play in those forests. Now where there's houses that used to be forests. Or trees or woods. I guess woods, in the woods. And, you know, we'd go get scraped up and go, you know, throw rocks at each other and mud balls and whatever, and come home when the sun was going down. In fact, I mean, parents had to drag us indoors. This was all before there was touchscreen and Netflix and everything is on your computer and everything. This was all before that. This was before any of that. Yeah, sure, we had like Atari and Nintendo, very old stuff. Well, considered what compared to what's out now. But you know, this was all last resort stuff. This was stuff we did when we couldn't be outside. But for the other parts, we were always outside playing stuff, throwing things at each other. You know, playing war in the woods, stuff like that. But it's so changed now. In my dad, when I was younger, my dad, he's the one that really turned me on to a lot of other movies too. Of course, with my grandparents and stuff, we were always watching John Wayne on TV and stuff like that. But yeah, I was always, you know, he turned me on to a lot of those, and then he showed me, you know, my dad, I remember what he did for me. He was going on eBay, and he was actually buying old cap guns and toy guns from when he was a kid. This is the 60s and stuff. So he was buying like the Mattel shoot and shell snubby 38 pistol and the Nichols Derringer and all that. And he bought all this stuff. Probably paid a lot of money for it, but he bought it, and a lot of it, some of it was brand new in the box and packages and stuff. And he was opening them up, and we were putting them together and playing with them like how he would have played with them in the 60s. That was something that he did for me, and that was so cool. You know, we had the belt buckle gun with the Derringer that actually folded into the belt buckle, and it would pop open and fire. Of course, we were trying to make that happen, but you know, we had those little Derringers. I remember we used to go out to the park and actually try to shoot each other with them. You know, I shot these the little plastic bullet clicked into a spring-loaded shell. Clicked into place, put the little greeny stickum cap on the back. We actually bought all that stuff. We were out there firing them. I mean, you know, I'm sure now you couldn't, you know, I don't know. I mean, but I'm sure we could have gotten in trouble back then too, but maybe it wasn't so bad, you know, that many years ago, you know, 20 something years ago or whatever it was. It just, you know, that's just my childhood. That's the times that I grew up with. Rotary dial phones, or whatever you call them, that, you know, that burnt amber colored carpets and glassware, and VHS tapes. TV was like one of the, I mean, my very first memories of TV was like you had like 12 channels. You had to go up there and click them into place. Big box TV sat in the living room. You know, right there was the phone table where it had the phone, the Rolodex, the phone book, a little stool, and sat there and turned the light on and, you know, made your calls. If you messed up, you had to hang up and start again. And go all over. Yeah, I remember when we got cordless phones in the house for the very first time. It was like the future. Dad got a pager. That was really wow. But I must say, you know, I thank my parents, my grandparents, for giving me the childhood that I had, because like I said, I feel like I'm very lucky to have gotten to experience the old school ways that it's almost sad to say it's lost now. I don't think it's very seldomly exists. So anyway, a little bit about that. I wanted to, you know, go through and talk about that a little bit. And I wanted to go over and actually show you here, what did I get from Bookman's, right? And now I know on the audio you're going to go, oh, what, I can't see it, because you're going to have to find out when you watch the video of this, or go to the Patreon page. You can check it out early. All right, so what did I get? I had gotten Roadhouse. Oh, there goes my receipt. Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, 1989 or 88, I believe this came out. I wonder if it says 1989, Roadhouse. One of Patrick Swayze's really, almost one of his most known and one of his best films. For the guy part of everything, you know, when you watch. I mean, this movie is so loaded with action. It's just crazy. It's just, I mean, good old. It's a slugfest. The ending is awesome. I mean, those of you that haven't seen it, I mean, I'm assuming everybody here that's watching this have seen this movie. But really awesome. I've had this movie. I had it on VHS years and years and years ago. But I remember, you know, I've had it off and on, you know, and I've always lost the copy of it. I don't know. So I finally, I saw it I was gonna get it, and of course it was on Blu-ray, so upgraded. Just especially for me when I grew up with VHS. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like, wow, I've never seen these movies look so good. It's like watching the movie all over again. So that's really cool to see it on Blu-ray. And then continuing on with Patrick Swayze, I bought Next of Kin, which has always been one of my favorites. Another one of his good movies. These both came out at like the same time, the same year, I believe. Yeah, 89. 89. Came out in 89. This is another great one. I remember in the beginning when he brings out that kind of, I guess you better stop the movie, or stop this video if you haven't seen it, but he brings out the guy, and the guy slugs him, his prisoner, while, the guy's handcuffed, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just, Patrick Swayze's always been one of my favorite actors. It's almost like you could say Swayze was my McQueen for my generation, I guess. Swayze was, and he died very young. I remember when all that went down. He had cancer and everything. It was just, it's a bummer, And Steve McQueen is another one, man. The guy only lived to 50. He had such a short career, and you stop and think like, man, what do you think he could have done? What more could these actors could have done if they hadn't got sick, they hadn't passed away? And like, I love it when you can look back and where it's just like, there was just something about actors that are from the past days that are just different from what it is now. There's still good movies out there, but there's a lot of stuff I just go back to the past and get, because they're just something that can't be touched. And the other one, last but not least, was this total accident. I'm glad I just stumbled across it. I couldn't snatch it up fast enough. Come on. Charles Bronson, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. Charles Bronson, all-time favorite. You never are going to be disappointed with a Charles Bronson flick. I saw that. I just had to grab this flick without a doubt. Directed by J. Lee Thompson, which he's done a lot of them. The Death Wish series is really, it's kind of how you analyze the series. The first two are the most gritty, pretty, surreal, that's some pretty serious stuff right there, the first two. Number 3 is a party. Number 3 is just straight up comical. It is awesome. It's just a good time. It's like, grab the popcorn, you're going to have a good night. It's just laughs and just an all-out non-disappointment movie. Death Wish 3. Death Wish 4 is just one of those that's like, wow, this is just back to the basics of just straight up action. Just straight action. Doesn't have so much of the grittiness, I would say, of the first two, but it just has that straight classic 80s shoot 'em up action. So, and then Death Wish 5 is the final one, is still a good one. It's kind of it's a closure to the series, you can see. It's really good, but couldn't turn these down. So I had to get them. I'm a big Swayze fan, so I got to get Red Dawn as well. That's another one it's off and on. I've had it, and I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. So I thought I had it. I was actually digging through and trying to find out if I had it still. All right. And the final topic, before I let you all go and enjoy your, this is actually kind of relating to movies in a sense, but then also it kind of relates to things that I've heard people say, and it's kind of interesting because now I don't consider myself like a gun expert, and I'm certainly not the tactical shooter or tactical life mod. I don't know, whatever you call it. I just call it the John Wick thing. Oh man. So, but anyway, you always hear. One of the things that you always that's funny is you get this happens in a lot, and this happens both in movies and in real life. I've heard people do this. Now this is kind of that thing where it is possible still, and it's that no magazine, we're clear, and we're in slides to the rear, and you get that click 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 click. Oh, I'm out of bullets. Click click click. Or you see the guy bang 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 click. Okay, when you have a pistol, semi-auto pistol, slide goes to the rear because it's indicating you are out of ammo. I'm going to see you right through the magazine wall. You are out of ammo. That's just the sound of the trigger. But really what they're indicating happens is this. Click, click. That's the loudest sound you'll ever hear in the middle of a gunfight. Really? Because it really doesn't happen. I mean, it's a pretty faint sound. You know, you're seeing the gunfight happen, and it's like bang, 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 bang. The guy goes, click, 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 click. Out of ammo. I think it just gets to the point. And now, here's that other part of that. That could come revolver days. That would happen in a revolver, double action revolver, even a single action revolver. Click, click, click. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Pull that hammer back. Click. Single action, cowboy style. Click, click. Oh, I'm out of ammo. That could actually happen. Sometimes when you have a double action to single action pistol, Beretta or something, maybe the slide, maybe something malfunctioned and the slide didn't go to the rear, and it stayed like that. Then yes, you would get that so-called loudest sound. So some of the things I've always kind of played around with that. You see, it's so funny is so many guys are just overboard with it, just over the top, and it just that's just not me. That's just never these things is solely it's a hobby. I said it many times. It's a hobby. It's something I've enjoyed because it's just neat, something neat to do. But I always found that kind of stuff funny. It's just like, yeah, yes and no. I get that. I get it. I get where it derives from, the revolver days. But it stops to make me really start thinking about. I hear a lot of the talk. Where's the walk? Let's get you to the range and see you good on paper. And that's why I kind of stopped instructing. I used to actually do a lot of safety. Mostly I did safety stuff. I instructed the handgun safety classes. But, I remember I talked to an instructor one time. He taught basic self-defense stuff. And he told me, he said, the hardest thing about that stuff is it changes so much. It changes. It's like software and computer and all that stuff. It just changes software. It's always different. There's always something different. It's the latest, greatest. The stuff, I mean, you literally wake up and boom, they got a new cell phone, a new tablet, something that can do something even more than the other one before it, its predecessor. It's like, whoa, this stuff is crazy. There are so many people that are probably watching this on their phone, on their computer, their tablet, on the run. I mean, a device. You probably could watch it on the watch at some point. That's all. The technology is crazy. It's gone so beyond where it's like you can't even call a phone anymore. It does so much. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of the things, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. We're 20 something minutes into this, so I appreciate everybody watching. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, I'm BATJAC J.W. I really appreciate it. Appreciate wherever you're going to be, wherever I'm going to be. I hope you follow me. Rather it still be right here in this place or back in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, my home, special place in my heart with my friends and family, Hawaii. And it may just be that. It may. I don't know. But we'll see. You never know what the future holds, right? But I sure appreciate the fact that you're subscribed right here to my channel. You're watching to the end of this video right here. And you're still with me. I guess wherever it is, wherever my feet land, maybe you'll be watching the ocean someday.